Today we are going to be making a custom diffuser for my 2013 Genesis Coupe. Now this is the way I wouldn't say taught, this is the best way I can think of or that I've seen to do it. What you're going to need to do this basically is just some single ply cardboard. You want it to not have vents. Basically if you're over 21 you definitely have some beer boxes lying around, those are best for it. And the best place to start is to trace your shape, which I've already done actually. If you can notice, this is Defuser fin V2 because V1 didn't go so well. This is what it looked like V1, and this is what one of the fins ended up as. So obviously that one did not work. It was going to scrape too much. And so we are using a PVC plastic sheet just for prototypes. This is not going to be made out of plastic. The final edition is actually going to be made out of metal. So this is the best way, in my opinion, for you to get from mocking it up, looking at it, seeing how it fits, making a prototype to the point where you can put it on your car, drive around with it for however long you seem fit, and see if you have any issues like I did. Like I had a broken fin and a bunch of the other ones are bent and messed up. So I now know if I didn't waste the money now to go to a metal shop, give them my template, which that's what these are great for. You can just give them the template and just say, here, I need, say, 4 of these because I'm going to have 4 fins on mine. And they'll just punch it out for you in no time at all. Have it back to you depending on the metal shop, sometimes next day or that same day. But we're going to get started. We're going to get going. Okay, so basically after you make your template on however you kind of want to design them, just give it a shot. Honestly, I just kind of said, all right, I kind of want it to look like this. Drew it up and cut them out. So basically after you get your template, you take your PVC or ABS plastic, whatever you prefer, what you can actually get your hands on. Because for some reason by me, ABS plastic is not something easy to get. I don't know why. I live near an industrial complex and everything too, and I went through there to a bunch of different plastics manufacturers and they all looked at me like I had 6 heads when I asked for a sheet of ABS plastic. And believe it or not, a lot of people are not car people and they don't know what a diffuser is. So I have it traced out on here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's on there. And I'm going to cut it out, and don't worry, I'm going to save you the trouble and make it a time lapse. Okay, so we have 1 cut out, and depending on however many you do, you're obviously going to have to cut out that many. But the thing to be noticeable about, these don't have to be 100% perfect when you cut it out. So if you, like I did, obviously you see I made like a huge, these is not a straight line whatsoever. It's okay. You can make little mistakes like that, as long as you're not making like drastics, or what, drastics, I'm making up my own words now. A big mistake basically, like where it's curving down like here or anything like that, or you chop it here where it's going to, not give you an idea of how the integrity it's going to hold up if it does hit something. But don't be too critical on it because, like I said, this is a prototype. This is, in my opinion, like I said probably multiple times already in this video, this is the best way to do it without wasting your money on paying a metal shop to keep cutting these out for you. So I'm going to cut the rest of these out and I'll check back in with you guys. Okay, now that you have all your fins cut out, you want to basically get ready to figure out where you're going to mount them on your car. I mean, that is the hardest part, honestly, of making a diffuser. At least in my theory, because I mean my car it's easy. There's a big plastic tray underneath that I can just mount this to and it'll hold pretty well. It's supported decent enough, but you need to figure out also how wide you're going to do it. Like mine's not going underneath the 2 exhaust pipes or where there would be 2. I have a single exit now. It's just going to be the center. So at that point you need to measure out how wide the center is, how deep it is. You want to get as deep as you can without it, I guess, showing over the top or however you design it. I mean, again, this is for a custom diffuser. This is basically, in a sense, a guide. I'm going to show you how I did mine and show you what the end result of mine is, but in the end, it's going to be up to you guys to decide how aggressive or how ornate or however much you want to do. Mine's just going to be small, simple. So on the Genesis Coupe, in between the 2 exhaust pipes, or exhaust exits we'll call it since I only have 1, I believe it was 28 or 28.5 inches wide and 6.5 inches deep. So basically, that's what this is. That's the size this is. Obviously you can see this is a scrap piece. I almost didn't have enough to make this even. But after the fact that you want to figure out how many fins you want and how far to the edge you want them. Like these are going to be pretty darn close to the edge. This is also not going to be seen. You're not going to see this top part really because it's going to be bolted directly up against another sheet of plastic. So you don't have to worry about it as much as long as you're not making yours where it's hidden. Doesn't need to be pretty. Nothing really does in this, at this stage of it. So then you want to get some L brackets from like your local Home Depot, hardware store, and a bunch of bolts. Try to go small L brackets. I mean, you're not going to need, you got to realize it is a prototype again. I've probably repeated that 100 times also. It's going to have issues. You're going to probably run into some stuff like I did the first time. I broke one completely off. This stuff isn't exactly tough either. It's very easy, but you got to realize if you're going to do it out of metal, it's going to hit the ground. It's probably going to bend, and then you're up shit's creek. You also got to get more fins made. So I'm going to do it, even in the final, I'm probably going to do L brackets. And then once everything's tightened down, I'm going to spray over with spray paint, or after, you know, very much a testing, powder coat maybe. And maybe even get someone to weld it. If I really want to, maybe I'll have someone weld it up. That way it looks a little bit nicer, but it's basically a lot more money. I'm trying to do this as, basically trying to make a diffuser as cheaply as I possibly can for the style that I want. I can't seem to find any for my car. My friend who has a STI, his is immaculate looking. He found the exact one he wanted. Speed 3s are starting to get a couple now that I've seen, but there's just nothing out there that I like for the Gen Coupe, so I gotta make my own. So basically, figure out where you want your spacing, make it even. Do go nuts on that, you know. You want this one in 3 inches, this one's gotta be in 3 inches. This one's gonna be in 8 inches, you gotta make it in. Just measure it straight. So what you wanna do then, after you figure out how far in, draw a line, straight line down the center, and then drill your holes for your bracket to be mounted to this. You wanna have this be your, we're gonna call it the mounting plate. Straight line down the center, drill your holes, put your hardware in. Make sure they're straight, and then what you're going to do is this. Take your fins, put them right up to your L brackets like this. However you have them want to sit, and then mark them. You will have, I have a red marker on black plastic, not a very good idea. Get a marker you can actually see, because it made my job a lot harder, honestly. You're going to see your holes then, obviously, you're just going to drill them out and bolt them up. So I'm going to get to drilling and we'll check back in when it's all bolted up. Alright, and there is your diffuser. Basically, or actually this one's mine, you can't have this one. But no, I mean, like I said, not perfect, but at this stage, it's good enough. You don't need to worry about it. I cannot stress that enough. You don't need to worry about it this early on, especially if you are going to go the route of like I am and make it out of metal. This can be altered. Even if you mess up mounting it to your car somehow. Like say you drill the holes in your car first instead of, you know, just drilling straight through it like I did. This can be fixed. This is alright. I mean, like, and when it comes to making fins, I still have, this is, you know, a block and 8 fins later, and I still have all that left. And honestly, if I, you know, put a little bit more thought into my cutting, I probably could have maximized that a little bit more and gotten even more out of it, but I didn't. So, next we're just going to mount it to the car. I'm not really going to show you mounting procedures in a sense, just because, like I said, every car is different. It's not, unless you're doing it specific to a Gen Coupe. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them.
Okay guys, there it is. Prototype V2 diffuser. And if you're curious,
basically, for what you saw and what it took me to make that was about 40 bucks, not including tools. If you need to buy some tools, then it'll definitely be more. But I'm going to take you through this whole process basically of from this all the way to metal, and I'll let you know how much it actually cost me and then compare that to some of the diffusers that are out there, basically. Because from what I'm seeing, how much some of those go for other cars will go for, they're pretty expensive. So we're gonna go with this and see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.